Hi, my name is Sarah and I'm with the Marion County Health Department. Today we're going to be doing a tortilla cooking class and we'll be doing 3 different recipes. This is all thanks to the Library Foundation. Before we get started, we need to wash our hands. Nothing takes the place of soap and water, but since I don't have that, we're going to be using some hand sanitizer today. When you're doing your hands, you should make sure you wash both the fronts, the backs, between your fingers, and don't forget about your fingernails. Once those are all nice and clean, I'm going to be using gloves. If you don't have gloves, clean hands work just fine. All right, we also want to make sure that our table is nice and clean. You can use something like a disinfecting wipe or just soap and water from your house. To start, we have 3 different recipes we'll be doing today, starting with making your own tortilla. You can see we're going to be using masa and water. It's a very simple recipe. You're going to start by reading the recipe. It says it calls for 2 cups of tortilla mix and 1 cup of warm water. I already pre-measured my 2 cups. You can see it looks a little bit like flour, but it's actually made from corn. We're going to add in our 1 cup of water. You're going to start stirring it with your wooden or metal spoon. At first, it's going to be really easy to stir, but after a little while, it gets a bit crumbly and you're going to have to start stirring it with your hands. That's called kneading. I can see mine starting to get a little bit too crumbly for the spoon to work. I'm going to show you what it looks like before I start to knead. So this is what it looks like before it's all ready. I need to start kneading it so that I can get everything mixed together. All right, and you're going to use your hands and make it nice and bunched together, kind of like a loaf of dough. All right, when you've got it pretty mixed together, you're going to pull out a little piece and you're going to make a round ball, about the size of a golf ball. And it'll look something like this. Now there are 2 ways to press your round ball into the shape of a tortilla. I'm going to be using a tortilla press, but it is not necessary. If you want, you can just put it between a piece of wax paper and smash it out with your hands. I'm going to open my tortilla press up, and I'm going to place my wax paper inside with my little ball right in the middle, and then I'll cover it up so that it doesn't get stuck to the tortilla press. Then using the handle, I'm going to press it out nice and thin so that it'll cook evenly. Once it's ready, we'll open it up and we're going to take out that wax paper. This is the hardest part of making your tortilla. Sometimes that mix gets stuck to the wax paper, so a little piece of it might break off. But don't worry, it's still going to taste the exact same, even if there's a little bit missing. And ta-da! I got a tortilla ready to be cooked. I'm going to stick it on my griddle and get it nice and cooked up. You'll see the final result when we show you all 3 recipes at the end. I'll be right back with recipe number 2. Hi everyone, who's ready for recipe number 2? I know I sure am. This recipe is a little bit harder because we have a lot more ingredients and just a few more steps. So I'm going to start by telling you all the kitchen tools that you're going to need. You're going to need 1 knife. You're going to need your mixing bowl. You're going to need your wooden or metal spoon, and you're going to need a spatula. Let's get started. I'm going to go over all of the ingredients that we're going to need. But I forgot. We have 2 or 3 actually other things we need. We need a 1/4 measuring cup, a 1 tablespoon measuring cup, and a 1/2 tablespoon measurer. All right, for our ingredients, you're gonna need some turkey. Sliced turkey of any kind works great, whichever's your favorite. You're gonna need some whole wheat tortillas. You're gonna need a whole brick of cream cheese. You're going to need 1/4 of a bell pepper chopped up nice and thin, just like this, in both green and in red. You're gonna need a ranch seasoning packet, and you're gonna need some shredded cheddar cheese. Let's get started. The first thing we need to do is combine our cream cheese, our shredded cheddar cheese, our ranch dressing mix, and our bell peppers into the bowl. So we're gonna go ahead And I'm gonna scrape these bell peppers in. If you haven't chopped yours yet, now's a great time to pause this video and get them all chopped up. All right, once those are in, we're gonna add in our cream cheese. I love cream cheese. Now this recipe is using 4 different food groups. The first one being the vegetable group. That's where those bell peppers come from. Does anyone know what cream cheese is in, which group it is? If you need any help, it comes from a cow in a lot of cases. That's right, it's the dairy group. All right, we're gonna add in our ranch seasoning mix. Remember, it's 2.5 tablespoons. So I'm gonna have us do 1 tablespoon scoop. Oh, gotta make sure I get enough in there. Just like that. And number 2. And then we're also gonna do a 1/2 tablespoon scoop. Let's make sure you get a lot of flavor going in this recipe. We're gonna dump it right in like that. Awesome. And last but not least, we can't forget our shredded cheese. We're using that 1/4 cup again. So I'm gonna go ahead and have you guys scoop that up. If you have a little extra, that's okay. I love cheese, so I put a little extra in on purpose. All right, once it's all in there, you're gonna get it all mixed up with that spoon. You want it all together so that you can spread it out on your tortilla in just a minute. Our other food group that we're going to be using is going to be from our tortilla. If you guys remember, the tortilla is a form of corn, which is also a grain. So that's going to be from our grain group. And lastly, our turkey, it's going to make up our protein group. So that's reaching all 4 food groups with an exception of one, the 5th food group, which is fruit. We don't have any fruit in this recipe, but that's okay because we'll have some fruit in our dessert recipe. All right, I'm getting it all nice and mixed up in here. If things get too stuck to your spoon, that's when your spatula comes in handy for you to scrape it off and continue mixing. All right, and when you think it's all mixed together, it should look something like this. Nice and mixed up. And when it's all ready to go, you're gonna pull your cutting board forward and you're gonna take out one of your tortillas. Now you can use any size tortilla, but we recommend this size. And it's gonna be whole wheat. It's a little bit healthier than those regular flour tortillas. All right, you're gonna pull out just a little scoop of this stuff, and using your spatula, you're gonna scrape it right onto your tortilla. The spatula is great because then you can use it to spread it out nice and even. And if you realize you have too much or too little, you can always add more in or scrape some off, whichever you need. All right, once you have it all scraped out nice and even on your tortilla, we're gonna add in that turkey. Okay, looking good. All right, so our turkey is our last food stuff we're adding in, and we're gonna use 2 pieces. Remember, any sliced turkey is fine. You're gonna wanna make it rolled out all the way so it looks like this. And you're gonna lie it right on top. We're gonna use 2 pieces. So again, we're gonna roll it all the way out, lay it right on top. And you wanna make sure that your tortilla has the mixins going this way. And you're gonna start at the bottom and you're gonna roll it up really nice and tight. If any of your extra mixings come out, that's okay. You can scrape them off or just push them right back in with your fingers. You want it rolled nice and tight as it can be. And when you're done rolling, it should look something like this. You're gonna pull out your knife one more time, and we're gonna chop these up into little pinwheels. It usually cuts into about 8, but if you have a few more or a few less, that's just fine. All right, now remember, we use 4 of the 5 food groups in this recipe, but through all of our recipes, we'll have used all 5. When you're done chopping, they should come out looking something like this. Now you'll see all of our recipes put together at the end. Thanks for recipe number 2. All right, who's ready for recipe number 3? This one's my absolute favorite because it is super sweet and I love sweet foods. This is where we're going to finally add in that 5th food group. We're gonna have fruit in this recipe. So the things you're gonna need are gonna be, again, that tortilla. You're going to need some more cream cheese, chocolate chips, banana, and some strawberries. We're gonna start by chopping up our banana and our strawberries. You don't need very much of either, however much you wanna put into your quesadilla. I think I'm gonna use about that much banana. The first thing you need to do is peel it. If you haven't peeled a banana before, it's pretty simple to do. And when you take your piece out, you're just gonna chop it up into nice, thin little slices. The thinner it is, the easier it will be to fully cook that quesadilla all the way through. All right, those look delicious. I could eat them right now. We're also gonna chop up our strawberries. If you haven't cut a strawberry before, you wanna make sure you cut off that green top. You can eat the leaves, but they're not super tasty. And then you're gonna cut it into about 4 pieces. So they're nice and quartered. They'll look about like that. I think I'm gonna use 3 strawberries, but you can use however many you want. You can also substitute in different fruits if you're feeling something else, or if that's all you have at home. All right, there's my second strawberry, nice and ready. And number 3. Oh, gotta put my top to the side. This one's a little bigger, so I'm gonna cut it into 6 pieces so that it fits on nice and well. All right, I'm gonna scoot those to the corner of my mat, and I'm gonna pull out my tortilla. Now you can use any size tortilla. We're using a regular size, but sometimes if you're looking for a small sweet treat, you can get the mini sizes that are about this big. The first thing you're gonna do with your tortilla is put some cream cheese on it. When that cream cheese melts, it tastes super yummy mixed with the chocolate. You just need a little scoop of it, and then you're gonna spread it on. You can spread it on just 1/2, down the middle, or all over, whichever you prefer. I'm gonna do it on 1/2. And if you see like me that you don't have enough, you can always grab some more. Just like that. All right, get that all spread on nice and thick. There we go. And if it gets stuck to your knife, you can lift up and just swipe it on down. Perfect. Thanks for sticking with me all day. This has been really fun. All right, now we don't want to go overboard on our chocolate chips. Just use a few and cover up that cream cheese. If you want to put more on, you are more than welcome to, but we want to make sure that this is a pretty healthy sweet treat. We don't want it to be too unhealthy. So I think I used about 20 little chocolate chips. I think the mini ones work a little bit better because they melt more. All right. And then you're gonna layer on your banana and strawberry however you want. I like mine to be mixed together, so I'm gonna spread it all out around the tortilla. There we go. Oh, my banana fell off. There we go. Then I'm gonna sprinkle my strawberry in between. Mixes all those flavors up really nice. Okay. And you can always sub whatever you want. If you don't have cream cheese or you don't have chocolate chips, you don't need to use them. You're gonna just then fold it over so it's cut in half and looks just like a quesadilla. Then if you need some help, you might wanna ask someone else in your house, or you can just stick it on the griddle yourself. And you're gonna let it toast up on both sides. I'm gonna get this all grilled up, and we'll be back in just a few minutes with the final recipes from all of them. All right, as you can see here, we have all of our finalized recipes. Right here, we have our cooked corn tortilla. You can use this when you make tacos any night, or just eat it as a fun grain snack. Next, we have our turkey ranch roll up. You can see it here cut as the pinwheels and the regular size right there. These make a wonderful snack, but also could be used as a lunch. And lastly, we have my favorite, our sweet treat. We have our banana, strawberry, and chocolate quesadilla. As you can see, it's all cut up and oozing out, ready to eat. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, this class is thanks to the generosity of the Library Foundation. I'll see you next time.